Lucas, how's your week been?
Pretty good. Busy, but good. Actually, something happened this week that got me thinking.
Oh? What happened?
Well, it made me realize we don't always celebrate the things that matter most. And that reminded me of something I wanted to ask you. Can I ask you something?
Go for it.
What's something you're genuinely proud of that most people probably wouldn't even notice?
Oh, that's such a good question. Give me a second. Honestly, getting through one really difficult year.
Not graduating? Not getting a certificate? Not some huge achievement?
No. Just waking up every day, doing what I needed to do, even when I really didn't feel like it.
See, that's exactly what I mean. If you'd answered, I won an award, I would have said, cool. But this, now I want to know the story.
That's funny, isn't it? Sometimes the things we're proudest of don't even look impressive from the outside.
Exactly. And I think that's what today's episode is really about. Because success is usually a lot quieter than people think. You know, whenever someone asks, what's your biggest success? I never know what to say.
Really? I thought you'd have a whole list ready.
Not really, because the first things that come to mind aren't the biggest things I've done. They're usually the quietest ones.
Okay, now you have to give me an example.
A few weeks ago, someone left a comment saying, I finally had my first real conversation in English. That's it, just one sentence, but I remember smiling for the rest of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Those messages stay with you.
Yeah, nobody else would have thought much of it, but for me, it felt like this is why we do this.
I had something similar. One of our students said, I used to be scared to speak English. Now I actually enjoy it. And honestly, that made my whole week.
See? That's the funny thing. People hear the word success and they imagine trophies or big achievements.
But sometimes it's just knowing you helped one person feel a little more confident.
Exactly. Those moments don't make headlines, but they stick with you.
Can I tell you something?
Always.
I don't think success always has to be exciting. Sometimes it's just looking back and realizing you're a little better than you were last year.
I like that. Not perfect, just better.
Exactly. A little more patient, a little more confident, a little kinder to yourself.
You know what's interesting? Neither of us mentioned money or awards or being famous.
Because those things can be wonderful, but they aren't the only way to measure a good life.
Right. For one person, success might be starting a business.
For someone else, it might be finally speaking up in an English conversation instead of staying quiet.
And honestly, both deserve to be celebrated.
Because success isn't about keeping up with everyone else. It's about seeing how far you have come.
You know, there's something else I've noticed. Native speakers don't usually say, my biggest success is.
Yeah, that sounds a little formal. Almost like you're giving a presentation.
Exactly. If you're just chatting with a friend, people usually tell the story first, or they talk about how they felt.
Instead of making it sound like a title.
Right. For example, you'll hear things like, I think the thing I'm most proud of.
Ooh, I like that one. It already feels personal, like you're opening up a little.
Exactly. Or, the moment I felt really proud was.
That one immediately makes me wonder, what happened?
See? It invites a story, not just an answer. Another one I hear all the time is, I finally managed to...
Oh, I love that phrase.
Me too. Why do you think it sounds so satisfying?
Because it tells you it wasn't easy. Nobody says, I finally managed to, about something that took 5 minutes.
Exactly. You can almost hear the struggle. Like, I finally managed to sleep through the night. I finally managed to pass my driving test. I finally managed to talk to my boss.
And notice, you don't have to explain the whole journey. That one word, finally, already tells us there was a journey.
That's such a good point. Here's another one. It took me a long time, but...
Ah, that's one of my favorites, because it almost sounds like you're encouraging someone else.
Yeah, like you're saying, don't worry, I struggled too.
Exactly. It feels honest, not like you're showing off.
And then there's, I never thought I'd.
That one's full of surprise. I never thought I'd enjoy running. I never thought I'd speak English every day. I never thought I'd move to another country.
Right. It's not really about success, it's about how much you've changed.
I like that. Sometimes success isn't reaching a goal. It's becoming someone you never expected to be.
Oh, that's going on a t-shirt.
Please don't.
Too late, I'm already designing it in my head.
See? Now that's your biggest success today.
Fair enough. Hey, Ms., can I tell you something a little weird?
Lucas, those are usually the best stories. Go ahead.
Whenever someone asks me, what's your biggest failure? I smile.
Really? Why would you smile?
Because now, it's kind of funny. Back then, oh, not funny at all.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Years ago, I gave this presentation. I thought I'd prepared really well. I walked in feeling confident, and then my mind went completely blank.
No. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I just stood there, silence. Everyone was looking at me. I completely messed up.
Oof, I completely messed up. I like that expression. It's so natural. You don't say it when one tiny thing goes wrong. You say it when you're thinking, wow, that could not have gone much worse.
Exactly. And after that, I made a huge mistake.
Wait, wasn't forgetting your presentation already the mistake?
No. The bigger mistake was believing I'd never be good at public speaking.
Oh, yeah, that's a very different kind of mistake.
For weeks, I honestly thought I had failed. Not just the presentation, myself.
I thought I had failed. That's something people say all the time. Notice you're talking about what you believed in that moment, not what was actually true.
Exactly. Looking back, I was wrong. But at the time, it felt completely real.
I've definitely had moments like that, where one bad day suddenly feels like your whole future.
Right. And if I'm being honest, I wanted to quit.
Oh, that one hits differently, because I think everyone knows that feeling. Maybe not quitting English, maybe quitting the gym, or a job, or a dream.
Exactly. You don't have to quit. Just wanting to quit is already something most people experience.
So, did you?
No. Mostly because I was too stubborn.
Honestly, sometimes stubborn is a superpower.
The whole thing was embarrassing. At least that's how it felt.
I love that word, because embarrassing isn't always about other people laughing. Sometimes you're the only person still thinking about it.
That's so true. I guarantee everyone else forgot about it way before I did.
Isn't that always the way?
Eventually, I learned the hard way.
Oh, I learned the hard way. I hear native speakers say that all the time. It usually means the lesson was expensive or painful or both.
Exactly. Nobody says I learned the hard way about remembering to charge their phone.
Hopefully not.
The lesson was simple. One bad performance doesn't decide who you are.
So, if you could go back and erase that day, would you?
Not anymore. I wouldn't change it now.
Really? Even knowing how awful it felt?
Yeah. Because without that experience, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today.
Funny. Sometimes the story we're most embarrassed to tell ends up becoming our favorite one.
You know what I've noticed, Mizu? Not every failure changes you.
No. Sometimes it's just a bad day. You move on.
Exactly. But every now and then, something happens. And afterwards, you never quite think the same way again.
Yeah. Looking back, I don't think the situation changed me. I think my attitude did.
How so?
I stopped waiting to feel ready. I stopped telling myself, I'll do it when I'm more confident. I just started anyway.
Even on the days you didn't feel like it?
Especially on those days. Some days I had loads of energy. Some days I barely had any. But I told myself, just do a little. And somehow, those little days kept adding up.
I think that's what people miss. They notice where you are now, but they never see all those ordinary days in between.
Exactly. Nobody sees the evenings when you almost gave up, or the days when it felt like nothing was improving.
But those are the days that matter the most.
I used to think successful people were just different. Now I don't think that's true anymore.
What do you think now?
I think they have bad days too. They just don't let one bad day decide what happens next.
I really like that. Because when you're struggling, it feels like nothing's changing.
And then one day, you look back and realize you've come a lot further than you thought.
Not because of one big moment.
Because of hundreds of little ones.
That's probably why success looks so quick from the outside. People only notice it when it's finally visible.
Yeah, but the real work, that happened long before anyone was paying attention.
Hey, Ms., can I confess something?
This sounds serious. Go on.
When I was younger, I thought success meant being better than everyone else.
Yeah, I think a lot of us grow up believing that. Better grades, better job, more money, more everything.
Exactly. It felt like life was one big competition.
So, what changed?
One day I realized there will always be someone smarter, someone richer, someone faster. If that's how you measure success, you never actually arrive.
Oof, that's exhausting.
It really is. Now my definition's a lot simpler. If I'm a little kinder, a little braver, or a little better than I was last year, I'll take that as a win.
I like that version of success a lot more, because I can actually control it.
Exactly. I can't control what everyone else is doing. I can control whether I keep growing.
You know what? That also makes conversations more interesting.
How so?
Because instead of asking, so are you successful? I'd rather ask, what have you learned this year?
Wow. I think that's a much better question.
Me too. Everyone has an answer. Not everyone has a trophy.
That's true. And honestly, those answers are usually way more interesting anyway. Hey, Mizu, can I ask you something?
Sure.
What's something you're really proud of?
Honestly, learning to be more patient.
Really? I wasn't expecting that. What made you say that?
Because I used to want everything to happen straight away. If I wasn't good at something, I'd get frustrated.
Oh, I know that feeling. So what changed?
Nothing overnight. I just stopped expecting instant results.
Was there a moment when you realized you changed?
Yeah, one day something went wrong and I didn't get upset. I remember thinking, oh, the old me would have hated this.
That's actually a pretty good feeling.
It really is. You don't always notice yourself growing until you catch yourself reacting differently.
That's why I like asking questions like this. You start with one answer and suddenly there's a whole story behind it.
Exactly. And that's what real conversations are like. Nobody tells the whole story in one sentence. People just keep asking.
And before you know it, you're not talking about English anymore, you're just talking.
Which is exactly the goal.
All right, Ms. Same topic, different conversations. Ready?
Let's do it.
Imagine we're catching up. So, what's something you're proud of lately?
Honestly, I've been sleeping a lot better.
Really? That's a good one. What changed?
I finally stopped working so late every night. Turns out, sleep actually helps.
Who would have thunk it? Okay, now it's a job interview. Tell me about a challenge you've overcome.
I'd probably talk about learning to stay calm under pressure.
Were you always like that?
Not even close. I used to panic over every little mistake. Now, I deal with it and move on.
That's a great answer. It feels real. Last one. You're having coffee with someone new. They ask, what's something you've learned about yourself recently?
That I don't have to get everything right the first time.
I like that. What made you realize it?
Life, I guess. The more I tried, the less afraid I became of making mistakes.
Yeah, funny how that works.
It really is. Sometimes all it takes is one question, and suddenly you've got a real conversation.
Exactly. That's what makes people want to keep talking. All right, your turn. Forget about perfect English. Just answer like you're talking to a friend.
Exactly. If you need a little more time, just pause the video. Ready?
What's something you're proud of lately? It doesn't have to be a big achievement.
Maybe it's something only you would notice. Those answers are usually the most interesting.
One last question. What's one experience that changed the way you think?
Tell us what happened and what changed afterwards. That's all.
See? You don't need a perfect story.
You just need a real one.
And the more you share real stories, the more natural your English will sound. Ms., I noticed something. When people tell a story, they don't always use the perfect words.
Yeah, they use the words that feel natural.
For example, instead of saying, I succeeded, I'd probably say, that felt like a big win.
I say that all the time, even if it's something small.
What about when things go wrong? Do you usually say, I failed?
Not really. I'd probably say, it didn't work out. It sounds much more natural.
Same here. And if it was my mistake, I'd say, I messed up.
We've all said that, more than once.
Definitely. One more I hear all the time is, I realized. Whenever someone says that, I know the story's about to get interesting.
Exactly, because that's usually the moment something changes.
So, next time you tell a story, don't worry about using impressive English.
Just use the words you'd actually say in real life. That's what makes you sound natural.
Before we go, one last question.
Go on.
What's one mistake that actually taught you something?
That's a good one. I think we've all got an answer.
We'd love to hear yours. Leave it in the comments.
It doesn't have to be a big story. Sometimes the smallest moments teach us the most.
Thanks for spending some time with us here on Go English.
Take care, and we'll see you in day 22.
Bye for now.
Your English journey doesn't end here. Click on the next video and keep learning with us. We've carefully selected it to help you build more confidence, more fluency, and more real-world English.